McCormick, the captain for Japan. Soalo picks up, he hands on to Leyenga, and Leyenga has scored for Samoa. It's their second try. What a follow-up by Soalo. He picked the ball up, he handed on to Leyenga, the fullback, and that really was a very, very good piece of play by Samoa.
First of all is the vision of Stephen Bashett to see there wasn't a full-back back there for Japan, and there were wide open spaces. Marvellous chasing up by Soalo, up against McCormick, who failed to follow the ball properly, but then Leyenga was there in support like a good full-back underneath the post. Good try for Samoa.
Man of the moment for the Manu Samoans. Manu, incidentally, means warrior in Samoan. And when you see the way that these boys play, you can understand why they've added the tag to their name. No place for the faint-hearted, I think you said, Ian.
Definitely not. I think it's important for Samoa, mind. They do get some points on the board in this first half, whilst they got the win behind them, because of with a goal kicker of Hirose's quality, playing with the wind in the second half, they might be able to get back some points.
Leyenga adds the 2 points to his try, and Samoa lead Japan by 18 points to 6.
There's some great chasing up by Soala there, and as I said, Silao, Leyenga there to score underneath the post and slide in.
Of those 18 points belong to the fullback for Samoa, Silao Leyenga. This is Keiji Hirose. Junior Paramore's underneath it. Picked up now by Craig Glendinning. Swept away by So'oialo, the scrum half. Brings in Tuingamala. Stephen Bashop has a look again at the open spaces. That's Ohata going back, and what a very good kick by Stephen Bashop. It was inch perfect by the outside half.
You couldn't have placed that any better in the corner, but Stephen Bashop is now utilising the conditions out here, putting Japan on the back foot, and it's causing them all sorts of problems.
Stephen Bashop, who now plays for London Irish, and former All Black, of course, bags of experience. Crucial throw this for Japan. Masahiro Kunda. Taken by Rob Gordon. Now the referee penalising Samoa at the line-out, indicating that the line-out had not finished and one of the Samoan players had joined the line-out, and that is, of course, illegal, and it leads to a penalty for Japan.
Japan will thank Samoa for that indiscretion, and they'll be able to clear their lines and retain the ball as well.
Robbie Ale, the big prop for Samoa, plays his rugby in Wellington, New Zealand, as do a number of these Samoans. This is Masahiro Kunda, finds Watanabe at the front of the line-out. Good walking maul by Japan. Graham Bashop hoists it high. Beautifully taken by Tuindraki, the substitute on for the fullback Matsuda. Bashop waits. Hirose. That's not the world's worst kick. Back goes Brian Lima. It's done well. They need to bring him down. They've got to make tackles count. Vainga there. Bashop again. There's always a space on this left-hand side, and Bashop always eyes this part of the field. Ohata for Japan clears.
It's just basic principles of rugby. You've seen the space and utilising it. But Brian Lima is a man on a mission out there today. Fielded the long kick from Hirose, gained 20 yards or so, which then allowed Stephen Bashop time to get back in position and then rifle a kick down the touchline.
Trevor Leota. So Oyalo. Something happening in midfield, and it's in the shape of Junior Paramore. So Oyalo, the scrum half, he'll have a dart. Good driving by Samoa. Glendinning, back row, such a key part of this Samoan side.
Error there in attack by Samoa. The opportunity there was to drive over the ball, and Stephen Bashop was then waiting to launch another attack down this blind side.
Hasegawa, Kunda and Oguchi in the front row for Japan. Brendan Reedy, Trevor Leota and Robbie Ale for Manu Samoa. Graham Bashop to his half-back partner Hirose, and the little fella makes a good touch. It's bitterly cold in Wrexham, but these two sides are certainly warming up. It's 18 points to 6 to Samoa. 13 of those points to the fullback Silao Lienga. It's not the world's best throw. Tone was the target. He couldn't find it. This is Masuo. It's done well. Over the halfway line it goes. Bashop. Greg Smith now. Japan have to regroup. They have got numbers. Lienga. The hoof downfield. And the referee was playing advantage. Samoa offside. And it's a penalty to Japan.
The Japanese forwards doing so well to try and win the ball off Samoa, but Hirose keeps kicking away poorly and throwing away possession, hard-won possession.
Well, this is a big kick for the diminutive outside half Keiji Hirose. He's a metre inside the Samoan half. Bright sunshine for him, but the wind is into his face. The rainbow over the far stand, and you can see the shape of the poplars there. They are bending in the direction of the wind, which is pretty strong downfield in favour of the Samoans in this first half. Altogether, conditions where you wouldn't want to be a winger standing out there waiting for a pass, Yoane.
I have to admit, both wingers from both sides, both Samoa and Japan, have been looking for the ball, very busy, very workmanlike, and when given opportunities in open space, have done very well.
Big kick this in many respects for Keiji Hirose for Japan to narrow the gap. It's given it a good thump, very good thump, but it just died at the end. This is Lienga and Bashop. Well, the referee has ruled it's a free kick because the mark had been made by the fullback Lienga, and one of the Japanese players had encroached within the 10-metre ruling, and that leads to a free kick for Samoa. Stephen Bashop, a year older than his brother, playing scrum half for Japan. Stephen's 33, Graham is 32, and here are Japan. Daisuke Ohata, the right winger, and he's booted it straight into touch on the far side. Japan trailing by 18 points to 6. Just 2 penalties for Japan for their efforts, and Samoa with 2 tries. Brian Lima and Silao Lienga.
But with half-time looming and the conditions going to be with him in the second half, it's vital that Japan stay in the coattails of Samoa, keep as close as possible. But kicking the ball away isn't going to help their cause. Lamatone goes up for the Samoans.
It's well rehearsed, this move by the Samoans, and at the moment it's pretty well executed. So difficult to stop, but they've lost it there. Leota, it came out of his hands.
The thing about when you do have your hair dyed white and blue, it's very noticeable when you do make mistakes.
So it's a put-in for Japan and Graham Bishop. You can see the effect of the wind. That ball just held up. Nicely taken by Inga Twingamala. Back on the Samoan side. The flick out by Ta'ala in the scrum half position. Stephen Bishop runs into Yukio Motoki, the Japanese centre. It's a bit untidy. Still with Samoa. Twingamala now. So'o Ialo, the scrum half. Stephen Bishop, nice little chip if they can gather. Lima, and beautifully played, but it was just a knock on. And that is half-time. The whistle goes for a pretty incident-packed first half, with Samoa leading at half-time by 18 points to 6.
Welcome back. It looks as if the sun's come out at the racecourse for the second half. Samoa lead, remember, by 18 points to 6. Let's go across to rejoin our commentary team of Ian Evans and Alan Wilkins.
Who trail by 18 points to 6, failed to score a try in the first half. They had their moments towards the end of the first half, but it was the Samoans with 2 tries from Brian Lima and Silau Lienga. 13 points to the Samoan fullback at the moment. He's got his kicking boots with him as well as his hands. Andrew Cole, the Australian referee. And the conditions in the first half were probably more against Japan than they were for Samoa. The Samoans now will be playing into the teeth of this wind, which is pretty uncomfortable, and great squalls of rain come across the ground. But Japan had their moments towards the end of that first half.
They did indeed, but I think in this second half, Samoa have a few more ball carriers out there who can take the ball up into the face of the wind and hopefully retain the possession as far as they're concerned. But with a kick out of the quality of Hirose from the hand, I think Japan have an opportunity to claw back some of this early lead that Samoa have.
That was Brian Lima with the thumping tackle. Nothing's changed. It's the way the Samoans play their rugby.
Brian Lima really is a one-man wrecking machine today. As I said earlier on, very much of the man on a mission.
Tackle went in on Teranuri and Masuo.
It's an excellent battle between these two wings here. Brian Lima came up there, lined him up again, but I think Masuo has impressed me in the first half, his ability to counter-attack.
Masahiro Kunda. Jamie Joseph standing in the line-out. Japan have lost it on their own throw. It was Watanabe who couldn't collect it. So'oyalo to Trevor Leota, and it's his opposite number, Masahiro Kunda, who takes him out. He won't enjoy that. That's all you need to do, is to ignite his little blue paper. Stand well clear now.
You do not see that very often. Trevor Leota driven back. Mind you, it did take 3 Japanese players to do so.
Stephen So'oialo, the Samoan scrum half, based with the Western Suburbs side in Wellington in New Zealand, to Inga Twingamala, and Hirose with the tackle. That was a good, brave tackle from the Japan outside half. But a hand on the ball being used by Japan, and the referee is strict on that, and they've conceded a penalty.
But Graham Bishop there from the scrum half put the ball to the scrum, then left the scrum and then ran off on a dummy run, and then went back to the scrum, which you're not allowed to do. But Andrew Cole allowed them to get away with it.
Brian Williams, the former All Black, and now coach to Samoa. What a great player in his day, one of the greats.
marvellous right winger for New Zealand. He really is an excellent player. He really was an excellent player. I remember watching him in the '71 Lions tour and so on. He's excellent, really good, world-class winger.